I'm so happy I never went on Jubilee, man. Jesus Christ. This is the yet another example of me being a centrist because I wouldn't fit into either crowd. Every Jubilee episode is like Hitler versus Jew. You gotta legitimize anorexia like this, man. Well, not legitimize anorexia, I guess. More like, I don't know. What the hell would they even disagree on? Yeah, like, I don't... so are they talking about their experiences, or is it like they're arguing that it's better? Because that's fucking cursed, if so. What do you... Like, they're like, you can't wipe your ass, and they're like, well, your hair is falling out. I don't... Like, what do you... I don't understand what the... That's fucking crazy. Having cancer versus having AIDS ass debate. Oh, but by the way, I'll take a side. Rather be obese than anorexic. Rather have too many nutrients than too few. You can do like serious long-term, well, you can do serious long-term damage in both cases, but like as a general rule, you probably want to have too many nutrients rather than too little. Again, it depends, you know. Yeah, you'll survive the winter. Exactly, exactly. If I recall correctly, it's a lot easier to shed fat than build muscle from scratch. I mean, if you're starting from like a point of being very fat, yeah, sometimes you see those transformation videos and it's like 6 months later, 97 pounds down. It's like, okay, fucking... It's like half my weight. Or whatever. Also, obese just means BMI over 30. Obese, secret, obese doesn't actually mean anything. It doesn't mean, it's not like a meaningful distinction. Obese might as well say super duper fat. Like, it's not like a meaningful medical distinction. You've got overweight and you've got not overweight, you know? It's just like the scary term for big overweight. These videos are just for people to watch to say, thank God I'm not either of them. It's the same reason people watch black pill videos to think, man, I'm so much better than these people. Yeah, I guess that's true to a large extent. It's just that, like, I don't know. I don't think there are that many people online who are like, more people should be fat. My mental disorder makes me want to be fat. Yum, yum, yum. But there are seemingly a lot of like 16-year-old girls online who want to look like skeletons. I don't know. I feel like there's a difference in the way these things manifest. It's like a community difference. I don't know. I don't know. The pro-ED community is still strong. Yeah, they used to be a big thing on Tumblr. I guess now it's on Twitter. I guess it's everywhere. I don't fucking know. Opinion on BMI? It's pseudoscience. It doesn't mean anything. I feel like the biggest eating disorder group these days is young men, and they're insane, like 0% body fat, super big and muscular stuff. To an extent, but how much does that actually, like... I don't know. I feel like anorexia has a death toll. I don't know how much this stuff manifests in men. I mean, it does, but like, I don't know. I don't know. It's difficult. I've never really had like an eating disorder. I've never been a very addictive. Well, addictive's not the right word. I don't think because I'm obsessive, definitely. But that's usually pretty temporary. That's just like, damn, I crunched the fuck out of those Terraria achievements. I've never really like interacted with anything the way that people with EDs interact with food, I guess, so I don't really get it personally. It seems like it really fucking sucks. Not compulsive? Yeah, not compulsive. There you go. Yeah. Like I'll go like, damn, I fucking love this shit. Yum yum. But it's not a I never feel this like overwhelming urge to do anything except for like be cool. I guess. I'm always feeling that one. It's rough. I don't know. Seems difficult. Do you consider diabetes from obesity and dying from heart disease via food consumption death from obesity? I guess the difference to me, and maybe I'm totally wrong on this, but the difference to me is that in order to be anorexic or bulimic, like that is a mental disorder. But you can be overweight without having a disorder in the sense that like you engage with food badly. You can just eat tasty, yummy food, yum yum, and then you end up fat because food is loaded with butter or whatever, high fructose corn syrup. Like, it's possible to, so, like, it's possible to have the same attitude towards food that, I guess, a normal person has, and then eat too much and get really fat, I think. Whereas I think you have to be disordered to limit your eating to the point that you become super underweight. I think that, like, biologically we're driven to eat because it's how we live. So there needs to be something wrong up here for you to be hungry and look at food and say, no, I don't want any when you're already starving. Whereas like, there's not really as much of a mechanism to keep us from getting fat. Does that make sense? And like goldfish will just eat as much food as you put in the bowl. Cats will get fat if you feed them too much. I feel like just we're not biologically used to the abundance of food in the yeah, caloric density of food and how easy it is, how accessible it is. So you can get fat like by accident. I don't know if you can get anorexic by accident or like that underweight by accident. I guess it's possible. Probably less common though. But yeah, but binge eating is a disorder. Like that is a disordered eating thing, right? But that's I think most super fat people aren't like binge eaters, right? They probably just eat a lot of food and don't exercise enough. That'd be my guess, but I don't know. I don't know. Also, too much soda. Yeah, too much soda. Maybe if you're really poor and skipping meals, but yeah, but that's not the same. That's not the same. It's tough. Not losing weight is difficult, you know? I don't know. Have you ever had soda? Yes, I've had soda, but I don't think I've ever drank like a full bottle of soda or a full can of soda. I've had like a few sips. I never grew up drinking soda. I just drank water and sometimes lemonade. So honestly, when I drink soda, it immediately feels like I'm drinking battery acid. Like even at parties. Yeah, at parties I'd usually drink like alcohol. which didn't taste like battery acid. It usually tasted like sweet, yummy treats because I would go for the Jello shots or like the vodka with the, you know, with the simple syrup. Just wanted to say thanks. Got invited to hang out with friends and have a fire. I was going to say no because no transport, but I imagined you yelling at me and it somehow worked. I ended up biking for just under 2 hours to go and had a really good time. That fucking rules. That's awesome. I'm like the Luffy in your head. Like when I want to do something, but I feel like it'd be too tough and Luffy yells at me and says, I'll never join the Straw Hat crew like that. Like I'm doing that to you, you know? That's great. What would Vaush do? Well, definitely not bike for 2 hours because I don't even know if I know how to ride a bicycle. But, you know, something in that vein. What about your Peloton? Yeah, but the Peloton doesn't move. It's not really a balance issue. How do you feel about NL's Uma Musume arc? It seems cool. I'm glad he's having fun. Gacha games are evil. I do like the gold horse. I've seen lots of good fan art of her. I like that a lot. I think that's pretty cool. The evil horse that dropkicks you. I think that's pretty cool. I would like to be an evil horse that dropkicks people. You should bike outside, way more fun than stationary. Yeah, man, rather than getting like a perfectly tuned, calibrated workout, I could dodge cars for 30 minutes. That's true. And get a sunburn. No, it's okay. I'm not really that outdoorsy of a person. My beautiful partner does try to take me on hikes. And in fairness, I kick ass when I'm on them. You know, 4 or 5 hour hikes, several thousand elevation gain. But that's like special occasion stuff. But the wind in your hair? I hate the wind in my hair. I can't stand the feeling of hair on my forehead, which is why I always like push it back up and style it so that it doesn't touch my forehead. You shouldn't feel it through your helmet. Helmet? I see we got a bunch of pussies in chat. I don't want a brain injury. Wouldn't make much of a difference to me. At Vaush, you've lost a ton of weight. Yeah, looking to lose a little more though. I'm still a 36 waist, which means that my waist is actually 38 inches around. FYI, if you're buying men's sizing in America, they use vanity sizing for the waist. Whatever you think your waist size is, it's bigger. They lower the numbers across the board. They lower the numbers because they want to make you feel good. You're bigger than you think. Just men's? Well, women's sizing is different, right? They don't necessarily go by waist size. Often they go by like size. It's different. I'm just talking about men's clothes. So if you buy a pair of Japanese denim, get ready to size up to a 38 if you're a 36 is all I have to say. Why isn't size normalized everywhere? Vanity sizing, because they want to make you feel good, you know? Because people in department stores realized that if you were trying on pants and everywhere it said, oh, 36, 36, 36, and then you went into their store and you fit into a 34, you'd be like, oh, I guess this is just the special pair of pants that fits my proportions perfectly and reveals the true waist size that I actually have. And then you would buy those. And they were correct. And now every single brand does it, except for like very niche, you know, and foreign brands, of course, don't do it because they don't care as much. Also, everyone in Japan's skinny anyway, so who cares? Is that the same at stores like Uniqlo? I'm not sure if Uniqlo does it. My guess would be that they do. So this is a uniquely American thing. They might do it in Europe. I just live in America, so. Also, like you can tell, by the way, if you ever go to a vintage mall and you try on a pair of vintage Levi's from the 80s or earlier, you will not fit in the waist size you think you have. I learned that one the rough way. I was like, I've been wearing 36s for a long time. And then I went, oh, here are these Levi's from 1983 or so. I put them on, 36s. It looks like I'm shrink wrapping them around my legs. Whew. Just standard 501s. Uniqlo's pretty inconsistent, at least with women's sizes, lol. Yeah, keep in mind every garment of clothing that you wear was sewn by a person. Sewing is done by human beings, which means that depending on how much they're rushed, and they will be for Uniqlo, there are going to be big differences in like the quality of the stitching, what the allowances are. There will be differences between the items. The higher quality the brand, the less likely that is to happen, but there's always going to be some variance. As a cyclist, I follow all the rules of the law, and I hate the cunts who ruin the image of cyclists. I don't want to hate American cyclists because I know that they're like living under siege, but at the same time, there is no denying the fact that there is a small subset of like lifestyle bicyclists who think they're above the law, and they fucking suck to deal with, dude. They are so annoying. It's not most bicyclists, and to be fair, it's a bit of a cognitive bias, because overwhelmingly, when you experience somebody who's doing a bad job on the road, they're in a car. 99% of the time when someone fucks you over on the road, they're in a car. But you remember the bicyclists because they're less common. It's not as much of an issue in the Netherlands, right? Because like everyone's on a bike, I guess. But in America, where most people are in cars, you remember the bicyclist that fucked you over. But yeah, bicyclists gotta understand, if you are on the road, you also have to stop at the stop signs and the stop lights, for that matter. You cannot just go right through. Jesus. Vaush saw the NL clip about this. That's not fair. This is why streamers don't talk about watching other people, you know? Because then anytime you say something and somebody else said something, it gets pinned to them. When is someone going to say, hey, NL, I heard this bit from Vaush? It will never happen because he'll never admit he watches me, even though we all know he does every night. He doesn't. But it's unfair, you know? It encourages dishonesty. You know, I have to pretend that every bit is mine and mine alone, because otherwise everything gets pinned to the other guy. To be fair, I know how absurd US stop signs are. If I lived there as a cyclist, I would 100% be running through some of them. They're placed so badly. That is often true. Yeah. I don't have a problem with the US stop sign design, but our roads are so wide that sometimes you can be in the middle of your lane, and the stop sign is only revealed to you when you get past the clearing of the leaves, like from the tree, and then at that point, it's like, it's on your, like, 2 or 2:30. You know what I mean? We definitely could do a better job placing stop signs. I mean, fair, but it takes 3 seconds to stop unless you're going fast to shit downhill. No. I agree that people should stop. I'm just saying, like, you don't always see the stop sign, especially if you're bicycling, because you can't freely turn your head as easily as if you're in a car, right? Yeah, I don't know. Also, I don't know how much this pisses you guys off. America in general, in the states that I have driven through, I feel like there is not enough designation for 4-way intersection 2-way stops. When it's 2 roads crossing, but only 2 of the stops like that have stop signs, and the other one you can go right through. Sometimes the markings on those are so unclear, and the only way to know consistently is to look and check for a stop sign facing perpendicular on one of the roads next to you, which is like, that is unacceptable. That is crazy. And functionally, what happens then is that everyone driving through on the non-stopped like road, if they know the intersection, they blow through because they know what the law is. But if they don't, they treat it like a 4-way stop because they don't know. They don't read they're kind of communicating like a 4-way stop, or you don't know if the other side can blow right through, so you treat it really cautiously, and it's really dangerous. It's just bad design. I don't know why. There should be much more clear marking. I'm sure some states do it, but unrelated, but I can't get up from my bed. I've been trying for like 7 hours. Last week I couldn't get up for like an entire day. I don't know what I can do. Probably a mix of depression, autism. Any ideas of something that's happened to you? Well, you clearly have the energy to type in a live stream chat in your phone. The only way to do things is to do things, unfortunately. A lot of like your mood and your day to day is like inertial, right? Like the first step is the most difficult one. So you just kind of have to trust in the memory you'll have in the future of how hard that was relative to how easy it is to be doing the thing that you're doing then, because it gets easier, you know? You just have to start, essentially. Unfortunately, there's no like magic secret. You just have to do it, which you can do. Like, you could do it like that. but you have to do it. I mean, if you want like a shortcut, probably toss your phone off the bed. If you want a shortcut like long term, get a really annoying alarm clock, not on your phone, like a separate analog alarm clock, and set it in another room or somewhere where you can't reach it from your bed, so you have to get up to turn it off. That'll wake your ass up. Unfortunately, most of life is just locking in, you know? Most of the shit that you think is hard really isn't. Sometimes it is, but most of the time it's not. Same with me, by the way. I'll sit here for an hour being like, oh, I don't want to do these emails. These messages are annoying. I have to respond, blah, blah, blah. And then I'll do it. It takes 10 minutes. Not even 10, you know? It's just locking in. You just have to do the damn thing. But it's not a judgment thing, you know? It's not me belittling or demeaning you. It's just like, it's just have to recognize how easy it can be. Hey, Vaush, nice shirt. I know. Thank you. I'm really fond of it. I ran it through a few wash cycles to try to break it down a bit because it was a little stiff. I ran it with some baking soda, vinegar, wash dry. And it's a little bit smaller now, which I prefer. And it feels a little bit more broken in. I'm very fond. Very fond of it. Is it linen? No, it's cotton. It's sashiko. It's that Japanese weaving style where you like run a thread in like a grid pattern with the white thread. See? Is that shirt from Blue Owl? No, it's from Imogene and Willie. They in a collaboration with Richter Goods. I think they're out of them, I'm afraid. Look at how well the model styles them, if assuming they're not out and the page is still up. Oh. Ooh, I don't think. Uh-oh. Oh, there it is. Okay. Doesn't that look really good? It helps that this model is like quite muscular, so you can kind of see the shape of the pecs, but I think that the framing is really nice. It's like a heavier, you could wear it in like colder weather. Got a Western yoke, it's pearl snap. And oh, the pearls are so beautiful too. Look at that. Seriously, I'm not kidding. Look at the depth on that. I've seen a lot of pearl snaps because I like Western wear a lot. That is a beautiful pearl. Is a real pearl? No, pearl snaps aren't actually made of pearls. I don't know what they're made of. A few different things. What are they made of? Material, cotton, Japanese fabric. I don't see the details here. I could probably find it from Richter Goods. Oh, this is indigo. Indigo sashiko. Oh, so it's gonna like fade in. That's nice. I didn't know that. I completely forgot about that. TBH, I just don't get Western wear. Feels like cosplay IMO. Hey, listen, okay? All of our clothes come from somewhere, usually military or workwear. T-shirts come from the Navy, right? Jeans come from miners during the gold rush. Cargo pants come from the military, like Vietnam, you know, OG 107s. I mean, pretty much all the clothes that men wear come from work and military. That's a difficult question, Real Coke. Opinion on jumpsuits for women? I think that coveralls and jumpsuits look quite nice. It's been half an hour and he's still fucking talking about clothes. Dog, I've been talking about a lot of shit. It's been like a really nice stream opening. You're the one being annoying. Like we've talked about a bunch of stuff. It's been a really nice, like refreshing. I woke up this morning feeling like ass, but I was looking forward to like, you know, just vibing out with chat for a bit. You know, you're the one being the grump. Women in jumpsuits are so hot. Yeah, the double RL herringbone jumpsuit look so fucking good, dude. So fucking good. I think I've showed it on stream before. Can I find it in the lookbook? You think women's fashion today borders too much in pajamas? I mean, it depends on what you buy. I don't think that's necessarily the case for everything that women wear. No kidding, Cliff. Huh. Well, it looks beautiful. Can I not just find this one woman in jumpsuit? Jumpsuit woman? Woman jumpsuit, please? No? Oh, here we go. There we go. Just a gorgeous photo shoot, huh? I've shown it before. But I can't imagine anyone would wear this like day to day out and about. This is very much like a historical cosplay. Or I guess what I should say is the style of clothing that's being replicated here is not one that's made its way into contemporary common wear. Whereas plenty of, like, say for men, military clothing has, like cargo pants. Nobody thinks, oh, you're wearing cargo pants? Wow, what are you, some kind of army boy? When they were only introduced into common wear in like the 60s and 70s. Same with field jackets. But this kind of like riding wear hasn't really made its way into general women's clothing. So it looks more like a historical costume. That being said, she's really fucking hot. So you're going to have to, you know, make that call yourself. If you want to see skinny jeans look good, look at some Wisdom Kai shorts.